why as a home buyer we shouldn't work with a listing agent.
Okay, so before we get into it, let's hit it. Hi, this is Alan Victoria. Welcome to our channel.
And if this is your first time in our channel and you wanted to know everything about Greenville, North Carolina, please subscribe in our channel and also get notified when we put a new video, and also gives us thumbs up.
Awesome. We get calls, texts, and emails for all the people from all the time in Greenville, North Carolina, who are looking to move, shift. I love that word, shift. And just relocate. And we are happy and here to help. And we know it's stressful, and we're trying to take that stress off you as much as possible. So, anyway, now let's hit it. So, what is number one?
Therefore, we want to go to number one, but before number one, I want to give you some introduction. You pass by with your car by the property and you see this amazing sign for the property and say, let's call this agent and understand how we can go get the deal and get the price that we want and put the offer, no?
Okay, yeah, I mean, it's totally fine to drive by and get the details. You're driving by, there's that 85532 number, and you can just dial and you get the flyer on your phone. Totally fine, because you want to know what's inside the house. Here's what you shouldn't do at that next point is do not call that person at the bottom. It's better to get a different real estate agent, and that is really what we're talking about today. Why? What is the problem with calling this person?
Number one, that is basically no representation. What it means, contractually, the seller agent has the contract with the seller to basically be loyal to seller and have his interest.
Right.
No? Therefore, that's how he get paid for. And you, as a buyer, what happens?
Anything you tell that seller's the agent is going to then go right to the seller. So you are now telling everything it is to the seller, which means you have no representation at your side. How much are buyer's agents, by the way?
Therefore, as a buyer's agent, you don't pay any service fee to the agent.
Yeah, you typically don't pay a buyer's agent.
Therefore, this is also another reason, because you don't pay any fee to the buyer's agent.
Now, how do buyer's agent get paid real quick? The seller is actually paying for the buyer's agent. However, the buyer's agent is going to represent you at the negotiating table. So it's going to cost the buyer nothing, but it is going to make sure we're saving you thousands of dollars if we are representing you as the buyer's agent.
Which, if you call them, might cost you $1,000 for not calling and working with the buyer.
Right.
agent.
So let's talk about what things that we can do. Number two.
What was number two?
If the seller's agent finds out how much money you have, this is like game over time. It means that you have lost all negotiating tools, because they're going to go for the most amount of money, of course, because that's their job, and they get the seller the most amount of money. So if they find out any information about you that can be used for the seller's advantage, they have to tell the seller, which means now you have nobody representing you for how much money you can afford, what isn't necessary, anything that might save you savings. You're not being represented. So when it comes to money, you really want your own agent sitting at that table.
Exactly. Therefore, basically, the bottom line that they wanted to see what is your bottom line number is, that you don't want also your motivation, how fast you want it to do. Maybe you got a promotion, you're moving from another state to here. All that is going to put danger of your bargaining position.
Absolutely. So you have to kind of be warned and not give people all these information, especially the seller's agent. Your agent is working for you, and that means they are loyal to you, and you can have them, they should be signing a buyer's agreement with you. So your agent is loyal to you and only you. So any information is then held between the two of you. Number three. Which is what is number three?
Well, basically, we're going to go to the scenario, what's going to happen, no?
Okay, yes. Okay, so we're talking about like inspections, appraisals, and all of this stuff. Again, if they already know how much your money is, it doesn't matter really at the next part of the game. Whereas a buyer's agent sees that the house is actually not worth as much as you have spent, and now you're going to have negotiating tools. It's going to say, okay, this house is worth this amount of money, but these are all these problems, and now we can go back with our numbers and say, hey, this costs this much to fix. We need this taken care of.
Therefore, if basically you do the inspection and you are not working with the buyer agent, as my wife said, you put yourself in the danger, because your buyer's agent exactly come back to the seller's agent and say, this is the list that came out of the inspection and this is all the issue. like a insect, any structural damage, anything that could be even major, like a heating, plumbing, electric,
the windows,
roof, windows. And then your buyer's agent basically comes to the table and said, well, either we're going to be fixed or we're going to get paid or cut the price for that amount. But if you're working with the seller agent, what's going to happen?
Then you have no representation to argue anything. So now you're kind of out of luck at this point. Also, when it comes to appraisals, if it's an appraising at lower than what your mortgage is, and they know how much money you have, then you again have lost that tool of negotiation. So it is not good if like the bank says this house is only worth $100,000 and you were going to spend $150,000 on it, and the bank at the appraisal says, oh, it's only worth $100,000. Where's this $50,000 coming from? If the seller's agent know you have $50,000, they are not going to negotiate with you because you don't really have an agent. But if they don't have this information, and then you have your own buyer's agency, they're going to say, hey, this house is only worth $100,000, and now they have a major argument in my little hypothetical that I just went up with. So this is something that you should have your own person at the table with.
And the number 4 is basically pricing, no?
Right. So let's just say you walk by that house and you said, wow, I love this house. It's $300,000. I want to buy it. But a buyer's agent can quickly tell you if it's actually worth $300,000. Maybe it's only worth $200,000 and you're way overpaying because they're trying to get somebody just to pay and you don't even know. So a buyer's agent can do what? How do we know that number?
Therefore, basically, we have something that we have CMA or market analysis, comparative market analysis, that basically we look at the history of the sold property the last 3-6 months and also basically compare the features that property offers in that price range and tell you the fair market value of that house, which is the pricing list, no?
Right, which means when you come to buy that house that you have driven by and you want to buy, that sounds amazing, except you need to know the right price for it and how to actually get the house. And in today's seller's market, every negotiation tool you need is something that you actually need to work on. Having the seller's agent in this market is just going to make sure that the seller has even more advantages over you. So if you are a buyer looking to buy, make sure you have your own representation at the table. If you're in Greenville, we're happy to help you.
Exactly. If you found this information valuable, again, subscribe in our channel. We'd love to have your comments and we are here for you. And please call us because we got your back. We know the Greenville and suburbs in the Greenville, and we can exactly give and take the burden out of your shoulder. And thank you again for watching our YouTube. Be well and talk to you soon, guys.